taking ceremony. Okay, then we'll directly move on to the... Okay, we'll move on to the oath-taking ceremony. I request Dr. Deepak Rajendra Prasad, the Dean, Student Affairs, to administer their oath.
Okay. In the interest of time, I will directly enter into the formal part of the function. Incoming secretaries. As secretaries of the Student Affairs Council of Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, it will be your duty to abide by the Constitution and bylaws of the Student Affairs Council, to preside over meetings of the respective councils, and to function in every respect as the Institute's foremost student officials. As student secretaries, you will guide the entire student community and help the Institute progress towards its vision and purpose. You should at all times be seeking out ideas and policies which could benefit your council, its members, and the Institute as a whole. Kartikeya Bejangi, please rise and approach the podium. Yeah. The mic is okay?
Yes.
Kartikeya Bejangi, you have been elected as the student's General Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
Yes, sir, I do.
Please raise your right hand and take the oath of office. Repeat after me. In the presence of the director,
In the presence of the director,
faculty, fellow council members,
fellow council members,
and the students here assembled,
and the students here assembled,
I,
Kartikeya Bejanki, do solemnly promise and pledge to faithfully execute the duties of the Student General Secretary, Students Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, to the best of my knowledge and ability to further the goals and objectives of this institution. Furthermore, I'll be acting with the utmost integrity and pursue all activities in an ethical manner.
on behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, I hereby install you as Students General Secretary, Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad for the year 2024-25. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I call upon Karthik Gopakumar, the outgoing General Secretary, to please come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Karthik Gopakumar, hand over the office of Student General Secretary to Kartikeya Bejanki for the year 2024-2025.
D. Sai Hemant Reddy, please rise and approach the podium. D. Sai Hemant Reddy, you have been elected as the Academic Affairs Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
I do.
Please raise your hand and take the oath of office. In the presence of the director,
In the presence of the director,
faculty, fellow council members,
fellow council members,
and the students here assembled,
and the students here assembled,
I,
Sai Hemant Reddy, do solemnly promise and pledge to faithfully execute the duties of the Academic Affairs Secretary of the Students Affairs, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and to further the goals and objectives of this institution. Furthermore, I'll act with the utmost integrity and pursue all activities in an ethical manner.
on behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, I hereby install you as Academic Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Card 2024-25. Congratulations. I call upon the outgoing Academic Affairs Secretary, Ms. VP. In absentia, I would request Karthik Gomakumar, the outgoing General Secretary, to come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Karthik Gopakumar, hand over the Office of Academic Affairs Secretary to D. Sai Hemant Reddy in absence of Mr. VP for the year 2024-25.
Everybody else is here? Ritik might also be. Okay, that also will do. Kishore SK, please rise and approach the podium. Kishore SK, you have been elected as the Media and Cultural Affairs Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
Yes, sir, I do.
Please raise your right hand and take the oath of office. In the presence of the director,
In the presence of the director,
faculty, fellow council members,
fellow council members,
and the students here assembled,
and the students here assembled, I, Kishore SK, do solemnly promise and pledge to faithfully execute the duties of the Media and Cultural Affairs Secretary of the Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and to further the goals and objectives of this institution. Furthermore, I will act with the utmost integrity and pursue all activities in an ethical manner.
On behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, I hereby install you as Media and Cultural Affairs Secretary, Students Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad for the year 2024-25. Congratulations. I call upon the outgoing Media and Cultural Affairs Secretary, Ayush Upadhyay, to please come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Ayush Upadhyay, hand over the Office of Media and Cultural Affairs Secretary to Kishore SK for the year 2023-24. Oh, sorry, 24-25. Yeah.
Raven Juwala, please rise and approach the podium. Raven Juwala, you have been elected as the Hostel Affairs Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
I do.
Please raise your hand and take the oath of office. In the presence of the director,
In the presence of the director,
faculty, fellow council members, and the students here assembled, I,
Revan Juwala, do solemnly promise and pledge to faithfully execute the duties of the Hostel Affairs Secretary of the Students Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and to further the goals and objectives of this institution. Furthermore, I will act with the utmost integrity and pursue all activities in an ethical manner.
on behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, I hereby install you as Hostel Affairs Secretary, Students Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad for the year 2024-25. Congratulations. I call upon the outgoing Hostel Affairs Secretary, Sayyid Muhammad Saiful Hasan, to please come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Syed Mohammed Saiful Hassan, hand over the Office of Hostel Affairs Secretary to Revan Jawala for the year 2024-25.
Dipanshu Datta, please rise and approach the podium. Dipanshu Datta, you have been elected as the Sports Affairs Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
Yes, sir, I do.
Please raise your right hand and take the oath of office. In the presence of the Director,
In the presence of the director,
faculty,
faculty,
fellow council members,
fellow council members,
and the
will act with the utmost integrity and pursue all activities in an ethical manner.
on behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, I hereby install you as Sports Affairs Secretary, Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad for the year 2024-25. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I call upon the outgoing Sports Affairs Secretary, Abhinand SS, to please come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Abhinand SS, hand over the Office of Sports Affairs Secretary to Dipanshu Datta for the year 2024-25.
Prabhat Suresh, please rise and approach the podium. Prabhat Suresh, you have been elected as the Technical Affairs Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
Yes, I do.
Please raise your right hand and take the oath of office. In the presence of the Director,
In the presence of the Director,
faculty,
faculty,
fellow council members,
fellow council members,
and the students here assembled,
and the students here assembled,
I,
Prabhat Suresh, do solemnly promise and pledge to faithfully execute the duties of the Technical Affairs Secretary of the Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and to further the goals and objectives of this institution. Furthermore, I will act with the utmost integrity and pursue all activities in an ethical manner.
on behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, I hereby install you as Technical Affairs Secretary, Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad for the year 2024-25. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I call upon the outgoing Technical Affairs Secretary, Syed Abdul Mateen, to please come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Syed Abdul Mateen, hand over the Office of Technical Affairs Secretary to Prabhat Suresh for the year 2024-25.
Bhaskar Sharma, please rise and approach the podium. Bhaskar Sharma, you have been elected as the Postgraduate Affairs Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
Yes, sir, I do.
Please raise your right hand and take the oath of office. In the presence of the Director,
In the presence of Director,
faculty,
faculty,
fellow council members,
fellow council members,
and the students here assembled,
and the students here assembled,
I,
Bhaskar Sharma, do solemnly promise and pledge to faithfully execute the duties of the Postgraduate Secretary of Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and to further the goals and objectives of this institution. Furthermore, I will act with the utmost integrity and pursue all the activities in an ethical manner.
On behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology Palakkad, I hereby install you as Postgraduate Affairs Secretary, Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology Palakkad for the year 2024-25. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
In the absence of the outgoing Postgraduate Affairs Secretary, I call upon Karthik Gopakumar, the outgoing General Secretary, to please come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Karthik Gopakumar, on behalf of Samnar and Subodhi, hand over the office of Postgraduate Affairs Secretary to Bhaskar Sharma for the year 2024-2025.
Adju or Justice, please rise and approach the podium. Adju or Justice, you have been elected as the Research Affairs Secretary. Do you agree to abide by the Constitution and bylaws?
I do.
Please raise your right hand and take the oath of office. In the presence of the Director,
In the presence of the Director,
faculty, fellow council members,
fellow council members,
and the students here assembled,
and the students here assembled,
I,
Ajwa Justice, do solemnly promise and pledge to faithfully execute the duties of the Research Affairs Secretary of the Students' Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and to further the goals and objectives of the institution. Furthermore, I will act with the utmost integrity and pursue all activities in an ethical manner. Thank you.
on behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad, I hereby install you as Research Affairs Secretary, Student Affairs Council, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad for the year 2024-25. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I call upon the outgoing Research Affairs Secretary, Ritik M. Mehta, to please come to the podium and hand over the charge.
I, Ritik M. Mehta, hand over the office of Research Affairs Secretary to Adju R. Justice for the year 24-25.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request our Director, Professor Sheshadri Shekhar, to address the gathering.
Good evening to all. My dear students, faculty, hope some staff are here. So, it's a very defining moment for the institute, a great day for all the students as well as for the faculty. Is important body governing a lot of things, great administrative loads for the students. Now, first of all, I should congratulate the election committee or the faculty in charge and their team for their wonderful job of successfully and peacefully conducting these elections. And I came to know that this time the results were declared online. And I think we are maintaining that, the technology in everywhere, digitalization or wherever. I think it's a good move. Maybe I was just thinking this one can go online, signing and etc. I was just telling, why can't we put it parallelly? Things will go into the hostel zone as well, right? So, so first I should congratulate this team, as I said, and then I should also commend the great job done by the Outgoing Students Committee, SAC. Their wonderful job, I can say. They have had really a lot of commitments. I should appreciate their commitments for the students in particular and to the total institute in general for keeping the campus quite peaceful, I can say, and order. That is very important. So I expect the new batch, and I first congratulate the incoming batch, the SAC members, and I expect them to follow the shoes of the outgoing your predecessors, and have a lot of job ahead. And I caution you that this is an additional job, and your primary goal is always to do the research or do the studies here. That is the main goal with which you have joined. So don't, what I can say, not at the cost of this, do this job. You do this sincerely as you have taken the role, but don't compromise with the academics. That is very important. Doesn't mean that you should not take this job seriously. You have to do that seriously, because for that purpose only you got elected, and you do the job, but also keep that in mind. And you have a lot of responsibilities since you are the brand ambassadors of IIT Palakkad. Wherever you go, you are representing, please remember. That means you have to keep the dignity of the campus. You have great responsibility of keeping IIT Palakkad flag up, and a lot of responsibility of behaving and culture representing the institute. And you are also representing the entire students community. So you have to be very cautious. I'm sure you will do a very good job as done by your predecessors. And as far as me concerned, on behalf of the administration and on the behalf of my deans and others, I'm going to give you complete assurance and unwavering support to the students' activity, the council. And but as I mentioned, it's your duty to make sure the student activities not get polluted or interfered by the political aspects outside. That should not come into the campus. Make sure those are all not tolerated by the institute, and keep that away as long as you do. And whatever we can do for the campus development, I'm there. I will help you along with my other administrative faculty and staff members. And I also request you to work in harmony with our dean, associate dean and dean students affairs, along with any other deans. You please work and come up with problems rather solutions, and come up with some issues and discuss it rather than trying to put it in email and all. Emails, don't try to put email and panic people or make it as a big issue. You have even smaller big issue. Discuss with your wardens, discuss with your advisors, discuss with the dean, and then further we can have a meeting jointly with the deans and all the faculty related to this. Solve it across the table rather than arguing across the emails. Let us not do that. It's not good for either for the students or for the faculty or for the institute. Let us solve across. Sometimes over emails, or over phone, these things won't work. Discussing across that is always makes a huge difference. Have a cup of tea, go to the canteen, discuss, solve the problem. You have a problem with one student, call the committee members, will call and discuss what is the problem rather than making it as a big issue and so on. It is always discussed and solve together peacefully rather than making it. So these simple problems, okay. There are difficult problems which are very big in nature, like water problems, power crisis, or summertime, this temperature rising, what to do. All these things are definitely institute problems which will solve it. Again, there is a problem, come and discuss. We will all solve what best within our constraints. We will try our best to do that. This is where you should plan. Actually, we are there to solve the problems, not to blown up. And then also, it is our family, right? Any problems inside the family, we will not tell public this is a problem. So if you are blowing up through WhatsApp, through media, LinkedIn, whatever, etc., etc., I am not aware of many things I don't use. So you all do that, then it will go to outside. Your reputation at stake. You are in IIT Palakkad. Even if you have problems inside, you should solve within rather than making it public. You are insulting your own family. No, that is not correct. I'm not there saying that you are doing it. And if it is somebody is doing, you have to stop, go and talk to him, and please give this idea that this is not the way to do, and so on. Let's solve peacefully, and I'm sure we are there to help. And I wish all the best to the new SAC members. And thank you all for this opportunity. I have some work, so I will leave, and Deepak will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the outgoing SAC members, I request Karthik Gopakumar to share his experience with us. So, change. Ayush is going to share his experience with us.
Yeah, so good morning, gentlemen, ladies. I am Ayush Upadhyay. I was the Cultural Affairs Secretary, or as the term before it was General Secretary, Media and Cultural Affairs. So if you see our tenure, our SAC tenure has had two nomenclatures. So first, we were sworn in as General Secretary, or I was sworn in as General Secretary, Media and Cultural Affairs, and I stepped down as Cultural Affairs Secretary. So the thing with nomenclature is, first we thought to give General Secretary title to everyone, just to make ourselves look big. We proposed that, and just within a year we realized that it ended up creating a lot more confusions. So everybody was General Secretary, and there was no distinction between us, and the mails were getting all mixed up. So we went back with Cultural Affairs Secretary, or the domain-wise Cultural Secretary as it is. So I've been called here to tell my experiences, but I don't have anything written as such, so I'll be very informal. So let's start with my motivation. So all of us, when we come to office, we have a motivation, we have a vision. There are few things which we want to do. There are few changes which we'd like to bring. So I was thinking about it, and my motivation basically was, we went to Madras for Inter-IT 5.0, and I saw us, like, as students, struggling with, when it comes to competing with other IITs. And the reason for it, I realized, is our cultural infrastructure lagged a lot. So we were not having the technical know-how, or the basic instruments. One example of which I can say is, we had a photography club, we had a filmmaking club, but we never had a camera. So every time we had to take a camera from one of our friends, or from CET, and get done with our stuff. So now, as you can see, we have a camera, and we just for fun live stream every second event we get here. I mean, that's one of the ways to keep our YouTube channel active as well. So that is there. Then there were other advancements as well, considering one of them was our Inter-IT rank, which jumped from 18th to 13th, and I'm pretty sure it's a challenge for Kishore to beat. Then, of course, all of that would not have been possible by a lot of people who were working behind and alongside. So first, I'd like to thank our former Dean Jagdish sir for his help. I'll also like to thank Reenu ma'am. She started as the cultural affair during my tenure, and we discovered a lot of things together, because both of our tenure started at the same time. I'll also like to thank Samuel sir. I mean, any of the student activity is impossible without Samuel sir. So you see, if a student activity go till 11, Samuel sir will sit there till 11. in the night and will watch everything is perfect and that there is no fight. So so when I took office in the start, I had a very different image of Samuel sir. I mean, I used to feel that he is someone who, is very pokey into stuff. He's very particular about few things. That's what I used to feel. But 1 year down the line, I feel that whatever he does is something important. And, without him, the entire things which we're doing, it would have been impossible without his consistent support and, the effort he puts in. So I like to specially thank him. I mean, there were a few things he told me and we did. Then I'll also like to thank Anup sir. He was the former cultural FA. I mean, when I just started. So there's one story about Anup sir. I really remember it. I'm not sure whether he remembers it or not. So he was the cultural FA back then when I took office. And so me and Sai Prakash, we went to him and we proposed him a new council structure, the structure which you all see now. So the previous structure, every club had their own FA and then there was overall FA. So what the plan was, to just have one FA as it is for sports. So I proposed it to Anup sir, and one of the valuable advices which Anup sir gave me is, it's better to, let's not give all the power to one FA and, delegate it. So we have 2 layers of FA now, FA approval. So there is council-wise FA and then there is overall FA. And one thing which he said, which I always remember is, better to not give it to one FA because he said, he said that oligarchy is always better than dictatorship. So he said better to divide it among few FAs rather than having one FA. And that is something I'll remember. So I like to tell it to the new SAC as well. Divide your power as much as possible everywhere. Delegate. Don't let it build up onto you or one person, because there will always come a time where it will be too hectic and you won't be able to do your duties. Then other than these few stories, I don't have anything else. But yeah, if time permits, I'll tell one more story. I mean, am I being too boring? Should I leave or should I continue? Okay, I'll continue with Inter-IT. So those 3 days, were the best days of my college life, although it was not in my college. It was in Kharagpur. So I didn't sleep for all 3 days. We were all working here and there. A lot of stuff was there. But there was one point where everything collapsed, and I still remember that. And so what happened, we took a bus from Institute to Coimbatore, and in Coimbatore railway station, there was too much of traffic, and we had to board a train in 5 minutes. So what happened is we started getting our luggages down from the bus. All the 3 buses, we were getting our luggages down, and then the traffic police came and he just, they just moved our bus ahead. So the point was, one side of the station, there are all luggages and few people, and other side of the station, which was the back door through which the traffic police pulled us out, there all the people were there. So there were all the luggages here with 10 people and everyone else at the other side. Now the problem was, there was no way to rectify whose luggages are these. So we had a very big of a problem, and there was a point where I realized we are not going to Kharagpur from here, we'll go back to campus. That's the usual thing. But an idea came, and I just ask everyone to get all the luggages they can get to platform 4. That's where we had to board our train. So all of those who were there, they can remember me shouting out, take all the luggages to platform 4. So there were people coming to me saying, Ayush, I can't get my luggage. I was like, you take someone else's, someone else will take yours. And I mean, that was the only option, because luggages were all mixed up. And we had just 5 to 10 minutes to board the train. So we all boarded the train. Yeah, we were 131 member also. So that number he wanted to specify. So we all boarded the train and we all started searching our luggages. Even I was not able to find my luggage. The thing I was fearing that somebody will leave their luggage on a platform. But at the end, all of them got their luggages and we had one extra luggage as well. So we just kept it back on the platform and. Yeah, I think that so I am kind of guy who don't believe much into miracles and all, but I felt that one incident was a miracle for me. If anything would have went wrong there, everything would have collapsed. So I think that's all I can say for now, and I'm like, I'll go. Karthik also has to say a lot of things. So yeah, that's all for the last time. Ayush Upadhyay, Cultural Affairs Secretary, not anymore. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ayush, for sharing your experience. It was indeed wonderful to listen to you. I now request Karthikeya to introduce the newly inducted SAC members.
Good evening, all. Hi, this is Karthikeya, your new General Secretary for next 1 year. I was the Deputy Cultural Secretary under Ayush, and the first inspiration I found myself to get into SAC was him. So he was the first guy who pushed me to get into SAC by seeing me for 2 long years for the last couple of years on campus. So I'll put my speech short and crisp. I'll just introduce my fellow council members. That is Sai Hemant Reddy, he's my Academic Affairs Secretary. Kishore, Cultural Affairs Secretary. Revan Juvala, Hostel Affairs Secretary. Prabhat Suresh, Technical Affairs Secretary. Dipanshu Datta, Sports Affairs Secretary. Bhaskar Bhaiya, he is our PG Affairs Secretary. And Ajju Bhaiya, and he's our Research Affairs Secretary. So it was not an easy journey that we people could reach this height this evening, and we have worked hard for the last couple of years, and we are hoping to work with you all for the next 1 year as well. And I also thank everyone who has taken your time out to show up for this event, and your presence here has graced the occasion pretty well. Thank you.
Thank you, Karthikeya. We now move on to the induction of Mitra volunteers. The following students would be inducted as Mitra volunteers for the next year. Valuri Nitisha, Datta Priya, Tanay Vashisht, Shivashankari Srinath, Aditya Gupta, Shrish Amit, G. Sri Varshini, Nayan S. Hari, R. Likhit Chandra, Devraj Dole, and Sumit Dhyaneshwar. These 11 volunteers would be working towards the psychological well-being of our student community. They would be actively engaged in all of Mitra's activities to promote positive mental health on campus. We wish them the best in all their endeavors. I now request Dr. Deepak to award badges to the Mitra volunteers. I call upon Dattapriya and Sri Shamist to receive badges on behalf of the newly elected 11 Mitra volunteers. Thank you, sir. I now call upon Karthik to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. So usually on such an occasion, I prefer to have a speech prepared, but I thought I'll just speak my mind today because this is probably the last time I'm going to speak in public. So firstly, no, as in this capacity, sorry. Yeah, I'll be alive tomorrow, don't worry. Firstly, I hope there's a record for most number of handovers because I just did 3 today. So I hope that's obviously recognized somewhere in the constitution. And, my tenure, speaking of it, recollecting what I can, it started pretty quickly as in we had a major incident in Hylia campus, due to which I didn't even have time to settle into my shoes. So it started pretty hotly, I could say. And I would like to actually thank Samuel sir, our registrar, Ganesh sir, our ex-dean student Barry sir, and the director as well, for the smartness with which they handled that situation. I think it would have gotten pretty out of hand, but I think the proactive measures they took actually helped the student community a lot. So I would like to thank all of them for that. Then I think okay, that deserved an applause, but no worries. Then I think, for the next whatever secretaries who you are going to take charge, I think your motivation should be again to help the student community. Yes, you might have different motivation while you're contesting, but now that you're in charge, I think all of you have the responsibility to serve the student community in whatever capacity you can. And a simple metric I used was how much sleep I get at night. And it's not the time, but how peaceful I can sleep. So I think if you do your job well, I think you will get a good night's sleep. So that's the metric I used. And probably if you don't have a good night's sleep, then probably you have done something wrong that day. So probably you could use that metric as well. So try to do whatever best you can within the particular day, and hopefully you will do well. And I think looking back at my SAC, which I had, the team which I had, I think probably more than just SAC members, they were family to me, because I think I couldn't have got anyone better than them. So yes, all of us were not aware of each other in the beginning, but as over a period of time, we actually became family members, and that could actually be reflected in the type of SAC meetings we had. So we obviously had very constructive talks, but apart from that, we also had a lot of fun spending time with them. We also used to, we didn't have official meetings, but we usually sat outside Malhar and used to have our meetings. So I think the kind of team I had also is something I'm very grateful for, because they've always listened to me for some reason. I don't know why, although only one of them is my junior. But I'm actually grateful that they listened to me, and Matin will always remain as an selected secretary. Okay, continuing with where I left in the introduction last year. I'm not sure how many of you are here, but last year Abhinand was starting to learn Telugu. Yes, he's well versed in Telugu now. He also has a placement. I think Saiful was starting to discover the nuances of ChatGPT. Now, if you see a YouTube ad which says, I can teach you ChatGPT basics in 9 rupees, probably you might see Saiful there as well. So he's so well versed in ChatGPT now that he has gained placement through ChatGPT, I would say. Mateen, I think he had a fair bit of troubles getting into the role. And thanks to that, in GVM, he got ripped off very badly. But I think since GVM, he has recovered very beautifully, I must say. I think he has done probably a 10 years worth of work in just the 3 months that he had, or which he, unfortunately, ultimately it was his own mistake, but he had done a lot of work in the last 3 months. Ayush used to go to railway station or the railway crossing for some reasons. Now, since he has a lot of power, he finds it so free that he can do it in his own room. So that much power he has at the moment. And yes, also on behalf of the entire SAC, I hope we have done justice to our roles. Yes, obviously, we humbly admitting that we do have scope. We had a lot of scope for improvement. I personally believe that always there is no best you can do. You can always do better. So we hope we were efficient enough. We hope we were helpful enough. And I sincerely hope that we did justice to our roles. Coming to thanks, there are a lot of people I would like to thank. So obviously, I would like to thank Professor Berry first, our former dean students. I think probably I would have called him 7-8 times during my tenure, just on a half an hour short notice. Sir, can I just meet you at my office? And he has never turned me down. So that's the kind of how much I could approach. He had a lot of sense of approachability. So you could approach him anytime, and he was always willing to listen. And even if, let's say, we were at impasse wherein we couldn't actually, we were at a disagreement over a proposal. I think when we could talk, I could eventually convince him or he could eventually convince me. So there's no disagreements in long term. We always could understand each other's thoughts and views. And that's the same thing with the other SAC members as well. So the ease of working with him has been very great and he has been very supportive. And I'm sure Deepak sir will do the same as well. And next up, I would like to thank Professor Samuel. And there's a reason why I call him Professor. There's a reason why I call him Professor because I think even life in itself is a degree, and he's the person with most experience in the field of life. So, sir, you can get it clarified later. So I think he has been very helpful, and probably apart from Berry sir, I think he's the one I've spoken most to, and I still will speak to him. Sorry, sir. I will, even after graduating, I'll speak to you. And I think I had given you some bill for reimbursement, so you have my bank details, so please feel free to send 5,000 every month. Next up, I would like to thank all the faculty advisors and wardens, because although they have helped me, I think they've also been very instrumental to all my SAC mates. So the response speeds, the collective thinking they have shown, or the compassion they have shown, or the commitment towards improving student life has been excellent from their side. So I'd like to thank all of you as well. So without you, I think we would have been incomplete. So in that sense, I would like to thank all the faculty advisors and wardens as well. Obviously, I would like to thank the CFET team as well, because CFET team is someone who has helped us a lot in many events. Obviously, there's the EW team as well. So again, there are a lot of people. I generally would like to thank the entire student community as well, because although they may have troubled us at some point of time, I think all of them had genuine concerns, and I hope we were sincerely able to help them out. Finally, I would like to thank my friends. This is a personal thanks. I would like to thank my friends, my parents, and my girlfriend. I love all of them unequally. They are free to fight depending on to decide who I love more. But yeah, that's the number of people I would like to thank. And for the for the last time, I hope I have done justice to my role. And thank you. This is Karthik signing off.
We have now concluded the oath-taking ceremony. Thank you everyone for your support and participation. I would like to request Dr. Deepak, Dr. Byari, and Samuel sir, along with the outgoing SAC and the new SAC members, to kindly come on stage so that we can click a photograph.